The year was 1992, and I was 27 when I first set foot in that remote village, nestled deep within the dark folds of the Carpathian Mountains. My name is Marcus Adler, a historian specializing in obscure folklore and forgotten civilizations. I arrived on assignment to uncover the mysteries surrounding an ancient ruin recently unearthed by a landslide. My first impression of the village was of stark, unsettling silence. Houses huddled tightly together as though guarding a shared secret. The villagers avoided my gaze, their faces drawn and weary, eyes shadowed with suspicion. My lodgings were modest, a tiny room in the village's only guest house, owned by an elderly woman named Elena. Her piercing eyes met mine with a disquieting intensity as she handed me the heavy iron key. "Stay indoors after dark," she warned softly. Her voice trembled with something deeper than age, fear. I brushed it off then as local superstition. Early the next morning, I ventured to the ruins. They stood at the forest's edge, half submerged in a sea of tangled vines and mist. Stone walls etched with strange symbols that defied immediate classification. The structure emanated a sense of timeless menace, amplified by the chill lingering, despite the summer warmth. Days passed in diligent study, my fascination deepening with each artifact I unearthed. Ancient pottery, mysterious idols, and manuscripts covered in an unfamiliar language. Local workers reluctantly assisted me, their anxiety palpable each time darkness began to creep over the mountains. It was on the fifth night that everything changed. Exhausted from translating inscriptions late into the evening, I drifted off to troubled dreams. I awoke abruptly around midnight, drenched in sweat, my heart hammering. A rhythmic tapping resonated softly from the window pane. Hesitantly, I approached and peered out. Outside stood a figure shrouded in darkness, a mere silhouette illuminated faintly by moonlight. It raised a hand, beckoning me silently. Compelled by curiosity stronger than caution, I dressed hastily and stepped into the cold night air. The figure had already vanished, yet instinct led me toward the ruins. Moonlight bathed the ancient stones in an eerie glow. There, standing amidst the crumbling walls, was Elena, her eyes reflecting silver like those of a nocturnal creature. "You shouldn't be here," she whispered urgently, gripping my arm tightly. "But now, you've seen too much." "Seen what?" I demanded, confusion battling rising dread. She drew me deeper into the ruins, where moonlight revealed a hidden passage, descending beneath the ground. Her trembling fingers pointed downward. "They awaken." Her words chilled me. Despite rational hesitation, my scholarly intrigue overcame fear, and I descended into the darkness. The air was thick, damp with ancient decay. Soon, flickering torchlight illuminated walls adorned with grotesque carvings. Inhuman figures entwined with monstrous beings, their faces twisted in eternal agony. "These ruins," Elena murmured shakily beside me, "are older than the mountains themselves. Our ancestors sealed something terrible beneath. But now..." Her voice trailed off as the tunnel opened into an enormous subterranean chamber. At its center stood a massive stone sarcophagus, covered with the same disturbing symbols I'd seen above ground. Around it lay the bones of those who had apparently tried and failed to prevent whatever lay within from escaping. A deep vibration began to hum through the ground, resonating within my bones. Horrified, Elena backed away. "It's too late," she gasped. "They've sensed you." The sarcophagus shook violently, stone grinding against stone as its heavy lid slid aside. From within rose a shadowy form, a towering silhouette of indescribable darkness, its features obscured, yet radiating malevolent intent. Voices echoed suddenly through the cavern, ancient words spilling from unseen lips. Transfixed, I realized the chants matched the inscriptions I had been translating, though I could never have guessed their true purpose. "Run!" Elena's scream pierced my paralysis. Together, we fled upward through winding tunnels. Behind us, the darkness pursued relentlessly, whispering, promising nightmares eternal. Breaking free into moonlight, we stumbled forward. The ruins trembled beneath us, collapsing into a cloud of dust and silence. Panting, we stood at the edge, watching as if the earth itself refused to harbor such horror any longer. In the aftermath, Elena and I agreed silently never to speak of that night. The villagers seemed to sense the change, their suspicion replaced by a haunted gratitude. I left soon after, returning to academia, but the shadow from beneath the Carpathians followed me. Dreams turned darker, whispers audible only in silence, symbols appearing inexplicably on my walls. Decades passed, yet the terror never faded. I've spent my life searching historical texts, desperately seeking answers or clues that might explain what awakened that night. And now, as I pen these final words, feeling the shadows press closer, I understand the dreadful truth. The darkness beneath the ruins was not destroyed but freed, bound inexorably to me. The ancient evil we disturbed in 1992 now waits patiently, whispering promises of eternity as my strength wanes. Soon, someone else will find my journals, curious as I once was, compelled by a force beyond their understanding. And once again, the shadows will rise.